Hey, you gotta adjust the mic, for a good time.
Yeah, when you say that to me, look that way. Look right that
That's
way.
all.
Don't look at my
Don't
eyes.
look in your eyes. Adjust your
Don't look at my
mic,
eyes
man.
and say adjust the mic. Look, turn right or turn left or look down. Or no,
Am,
don't
am,
look down.
am,
Look up.
God
am.
damn, shit now.
Nah, no eye
Like, he's
contact.
like,
Adjusting mic.
like, look at me when I'm talking to you.
Oh, I thought you was about to say boy.
No,
Adjust your
I
mic,
ain't
boy.
going. No.
Oh, y'all seen that one TikTok of that dude just going around talking, so get me that boy.
No. Again, I don't be on TikTok, so.
I'm like, I seen it on Twitter. I was like, bro, why
That is the shitty part
so
about TikTok is that it's migrated to Twitter. So you don't even have to be on TikTok to watch these fucking videos.
Yeah, I might have the best / worst algorithm because like on my TikTok, I got like net but like sugar-free videos.
Oh, that's the best algorithm.
Yeah, it's a salute sugar-free, but like the videos be like extremely problematic.
Yeah, that's the best content.
He had one video. I might get y'all canceled with this one, but he was like, I wake up every day, I put one foot on the ground to pray and another foot in a bitch ass.
Yeah.
That's
Bro,
not
I'm used to them
problematic.
lyrics.
How would that be problematic? Like,
because promoting beating women.
Oh, is it so? You took it that way? I mean,
yeah, he put his foot in her, sugar free.
Well, he's just letting you know.
I thought it was more the rock context of stick that some bitch sideways.
He's putting her. I don't know if you heard much sugar free, David, but like
no, not at all.
You need
to women.
You need to definitely listen to Sugar Free.
Nah. I don't. Again, like
you can ignore like some parts, but you can learn some shit from Sugar Free. No, well, everybody can learn some shit from Sugar Free.
Learn everything from them.
No, don't learn it. It's gonna be if you learn everything from Sugar Free, it's gonna be one person on this podcast. You'll get that DV.
That's all right. It's just gonna be Davis. Davis versus Sugar Free.
And I already got to worry about shit he says to begin with. Like, you see how I be no-selling him at times with the fucking crazy shit he says. So that ain't probably nothing. Well, again, the famous one that I always use is you said Tyler Perry should direct Fast X.
Oh, that'd be fire.
No, come on. Oh my.
With Medea in that bit.
You're gonna hit the note. Hello. Like,
see, what we not gonna do is not talk about family.
Oh my god! You know what? It actually makes sense, to be honest. Yeah.
Medea hate her family though.
That's the point. No, that's why she's the villain. That's why she's the villain, because Dom Toretto was family.
See, I was thinking about Medea like being on a team. Like that'd be
nah. She's got to be the villain because you don't protect your family.
Bro, imagine the Medea and like Tyrese dialogue. That'd be gold just off of that.
I'm just picturing Vin Diesel versus Medea. Like,
I don't hit bitches, but I sure to kill them.
Like, did she die already?
She came back.
Oh, like I gotta ask a woman that watches this shit. Somebody that's over 65.
Wow.
Not calling Beat Out a woman, but Beat Out watches Medea.
I was about to say he definitely seems like the target audience. Yeah.
That sounded racial.
That's crazy.
That was racial.
Because when I always see the clips of like the wildness of Tyler Perry's movies and shows, I'm like, and the way Beat Out tweets, I'm like, yep. He's always tweeting about R. Kelly. I'm like, yeah, there is an overlap between the
Beat Out got a black wife. He doesn't see Medea before.
Questionable.
I don't even think it'd be that. I think it's just like I like this shit. Like, this shit's entertainment. Like, can he be like, that video that came out to show those dudes dying at the table outside? That's Beat Out watching Medea just
I done seen a couple Medea movies. A couple of them good. The ones like without Medea in it, like the Tyler Perry movies.
Oh, I only have seen Diary of a Mad Black Woman, Daddy's Little Girls.
That was decent. Daddy's Little Girls was really good. That's like a really good movie.
Idris Elba was getting his ass kicked in that movie. And I'm like, fight back, Idris Elba, fight back.
Hey, don't post that comment. Don't post that comment.
I'm not. That's why I just like, bro. Captain Marvel too.
Oh, okay.
Oh God. No, but we're 5 minutes in. This is Banks versus Davis. Thank y'all for joining again. We are live every Sunday here on our YouTube channel. We just started a Patreon a week ago. All week we've dropped exclusive content that you can only find there. A lot of commentary tracks that again we are only allowed to kind of put on there. So pay the $5, sign up again. Amp, you just did a part of the Banks with Banks this week.
Yes, sir.
And I've been calling you out the last few weeks because you were supposed to show up for a pod a couple weeks ago. Banks rescheduled it, so I've been calling you out, and finally you're here. So let's settle this. Let's settle this because you called me out a few weeks ago when Banks did. You did admit that you don't like white people. So what? Let's start with that. Let's tell me about your hatred for white people.
I hate white people, man.
He got a white friend. They call him Eric. You haven't met Eric yet?
Nah.
Okay, yeah, that's his white friend.
Yeah. Salute him. That's my one.
He's got one. He's got one.
He's white. He wears a bonnet.
Yeah. He got one white friend. His tattoo artist. So that's one half.
Yeah. Salute them.
But no, I
don't hate white people, man.
You should.
I was not being nosy on y'all last.
You were being.
I watched every single one of y'all episodes.
I don't believe that for a second. I ain't never seen you in the comments. I ain't never seen you in the comments. I ain't never
watched the shit live. I don't really watch the podcast live like that.
Yeah.
Like I watch it like I used to listen to it like I'm not saying used to listen to it because I'm on the Patreon. I used to like watch it on like Spotify and shit like that. Well, listen to it on Spotify. I ain't never like watch y'all shit live because usually when like people be going live on their podcast, and this goes for anybody, I just look at it. I'll be like, I'll watch that shit later.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I know what podcast. Yeah, he actually doesn't hate white people too because the only podcast he watched live, I won't say here.
Joe Rogan.
Well, that's mine. Yeah,
it's two white guys is the reason why I podcast. To be honest.
Bill Burr and Joe Rogan.
Bill Burr and Rogan. That's the only reason why I podcast, because of them two.
Crazy. But no, I mean, again, you'd saw an episode of Banks that you'd shown up like everyone else to hear the tea, but you'd said you would listen, and I believe that. It was just a funny thing to hear you say, like, it's going to be at the end of the show, and obviously the show is back, which is a whole thing in itself. But I just thought that was funny how you release man enough to admit, like, I want to see what's going on. Like, let me tap in. Again, like
curious, bro, what the fuck going on? I'm like, why are they ending the show? And then I listened to it, and then I was like, all right. But then y'all came back though. Y'all came back with a video.
Basically, yeah, legit. It was that like if we're coming back, you got to come back again. Basically, an action movie. Like they took everything from me. Like
you came back. Y'all got the Patreon. Y'all got a good amount of people on y'all shit. So
yeah, we still gotta grow it though. B-Dot's broke ass ain't subscribed yet. I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah, he on the he got a because he got the Joe Budden one, and I think he got like
80 dots today. All right.
Yeah, B-Dot today. B-Dot, he got the Joe Budden one. He got the $80 R. Kelly tier. So
yeah, I was about to say, I'm like, I think he's funding R. Kelly's legal defense. To be honest, that's why.
So he just got to deduct his R. Kelly tier a little bit, and then he'll get on y'all shit.
Yeah, he paying for that podcast. Imagine that. Dude was up here talking about, I like Ice Spice. I know you do. She about the same type of age you love all your women, bro.
Whoa.
Thanks. Wasn't we the first niggas talking about Ice Spice?
I was about to say, can you not explain it to me, because I think one of the first clips I actually saw Banks on REOP, because I remember he told me he was starting to produce, but I think the first like clip of him on the show was y'all reviewing a music video, and I'm like, who they talk about? And then I think Andrew like, we gotta mute this, and then you're like, yeah, this shit slap, and like Banks I think was doing the like,
yeah, we were talking about what that was like what was that, like 3 or 4 months ago?
I think that was like February, because it was like I used that image of him going fucking insane to like hype up us covering the Batman. So it was like in February.
Yeah, and like in the REOP Discord, like we always used to talk about Ice Spice. Like shout out to Josh, he was like good woman. I think that
she
might
is,
be
yeah.
where the woman came from. To be honest, I gotta ask Josh. I'm not sure. Well, we used to talk about Ice Spice every
like
day.
last year.
Yeah, every day in the REOP Discord when she had that one song. I forgot. She had one song, it got like taken off the internet. We used to talk about Ice Spice every day, like around like February last year. Then like all of a sudden she just blew up.
Yeah, I don't even be listening to like the videos that I play. I just be looking again. Everyone's saying like she has the one move, the bend over move. I'm like, yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like,
but you pay $5 to watch Ish talk. He got a white man.
Also, Ish don't take care of his kids, right?
Well, he body slammed the moms, but that's all right.
Oh, wow.
Allegedly.
I'm out of here.
Good. Cannonball, like Kevin. Hey, Ed be having the most ridiculous like this bad pictures, bro.
No, I think the one time I called him out on another podcast, he had Joanna Vega from the Bang Bros.
Oh yeah.
He was like, 40. How do you know that, Davis? And I'm like,
oh yeah, she had a 40 ball.
Yeah, good. That's a real good woman right there.
That's an extremely good woman.
Great woman. Yeah. But no, so I wanted to have you on for a while. And I've been listening to some RAOP in the last couple of weeks, especially some old episodes, and a lot of things. Like, one, obviously you're great at what you do. I'm not going to just hear to be like, oh wow, Amp's amazing, all this and that. But you had said the thing too, where like people don't ask you to be on their podcast because even though like you'll be like an inspiration to them or that, like you just say like you never do podcasts because people don't ask you. And that was the guy I had said on that final episode where like Amp didn't come on. And I joked, I'm like, it's a funny thing if I say, does Amp not like white people? In terms of like, I just never asked you and I never asked Bank to ask you was the thing.
Hey man, I was about to call Banks the W word, but he's from LA and they apparently that's like killing words. So I'm not gonna call him that. But Banks is an interesting thing. I ain't gonna call you no weirdo because you already told me what that mean in LA. And I don't want to disrespect my brother Banks.
I don't care. All right, so let's get this out the way. All right. So it's certain people that can say certain things to me, and I'll be like, all right, that's fine. But then there's a lot of people that say certain things to me. I'm like, bro, I'll slap the shit out you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Banks had a talk with me the other day about this in regards to you, where I'm like, everything I'm saying about Amp on the air in terms of calling out is all a work. It's all a joke. Again, if I had a real hatred for someone, you would know. Like,
yeah, because you got a hatred for like 20 people.
Me?
Yeah.
That is true. I do hold a vengeance. I do hold a grudge. Yeah.
Yeah, I would think if you like hated me, you probably wouldn't even mention me by names. So,
or even on the podcast.
He be saying names. I just won't say them here. He be saying a lot of names. A lot.
Hey, I was listening to y'all bonus episode, and Banks was supposed to say somebody's name, and like, if y'all want to hear the name, go to that Patreon, Banks versus Davis Patreon. Pay that $5.
I'm trying to remember what name did
they be saying names on there.
Yeah, because you paying to hear the names. That's why.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not giving shit out for free no more. The game has changed now. I'm not saying shit for free no more.
But no, you had said Banks is a weirdo. You were saying that because he didn't ask you to come on knowing that you would come on the show?
Yeah, but he know firsthand, like, me and Joe be busy as fuck with the podcast.
That's what it was. That's why I never asked before. And one, I had told this to you, like, I never tried to use Banks for the connection he had.
But I'm one of them people where, like, if you hit me up like a couple days in advance, I can change shit around. This is nothing.
Yeah, it's that thing where, like, I had said I don't want to, because Banks knows a lot of people. He's more, he's a better communicator than I. Where it's like I can like ask someone to be on the pod and then like forget to follow up. Or like if they say, "Oh, this day doesn't work," I'm like, "Oh," and then I kind of like change my mind because like it only was working out for this. It's that aspect of like him being the booker for the show is why we've had the people we've had. Because I'm like, one, who am I who's gonna respond to me and be like, yeah, I'll do your show? Like,
you never know.
Right.
I mean, hit up Ice Spice. I bet she'll respond. Well, probably not anymore.
No.
It's
nothing I want to ask that little girl anyway. I don't want to ask about no fucking no sandwiches because that's all they eat in New York. I don't want to ask you nothing.
Well, she likes,
you know what? Stop it.
The Team Jordan she be wearing, I don't want to ask you none of that, baby.
Well, she Dominican, so that's a part of her uniform.
You're right. When she had the one piece on, and we not body shaming or we not shaming women for their attire, I just know your age by your shoes. When she be having that one piece on And them sneakers, I said, yep, that told me all the age I need to know.
Now you be shaming women.
Yeah, well, 1 foot on the ground, another foot in there.
Oh my. But no, Amp, what I wanted to ask you about is because you had said some ROP. Yeah, no, I'm trying to know something of Vince McMahon ice cream bar. Hey, pal, hey. Yeah, I got an ice cream bar, like he takes one bite and then he's just like throws that shit on the ground like
this is disgusting.
Yeah, but no, you've talked about a lot of like podcasting, kind of what it takes to succeed in podcasting. We had talked about this with Joe in a way. I always hate like talking shop with people, but when you get to the level you are, where you have a large following, not just like online as an individual, but your show has a large following enough to do live shows, to have tiered Patreons, to go out to do things like Exotica.
What? He signed up for the Patreon that day.
I wanted to see, but then I'm like, what's going on here? But when you do a podcast, especially as much as you do, like you said, you're always like, if you're not busy with life stuff, like we all are at the end of the day, you're doing what regular IOP, our IOP at night. I know you do like the rap album reviews. You already probably do bonus live streams and all that. Like,
yeah, then we do like interviews and shit with people around the city and whatnot.
Yeah, which is the big thing.
So, like, and then like individual shit, all kind of stuff.
And you had said the one thing with Banks about when we were in what was a second hiatus after the first hiatus when I was gone, was like consistency is the key.
Yeah.
And the whole time Banks and I were consistent, and then I had some stuff going on where I needed to take a break. And then when we came back, I'm like, I got to kind of ease myself back into this, because then like if you're going to do something like this, you got to be all for it. And you had said one thing on a pod that I really respected, was that like, if you have to constantly be on your podcast partner, then your podcast isn't going to work, or you don't have a podcast partner.
Yeah.
Like if you have to be like, and that there was someone who I was doing a podcast with where I had to kind of be like that. And then when this person never hit me up, when the recording date was coming up, I'm like, this person isn't into it like I am, and I'm not going to be the one dragging them across when I already have what I'm doing with Banks and what I'm doing with BRP. So that's why something like that just ended when it did. And that's, I'm on a small level of like success. Like I'm constantly trying to go further and further. And that's the whole, like, you got to take this seriously, and you got to put time into the equipment. You got to not be like everyone else. Again, when I listen to your guys' show, again, like I can never do a show like yours or copy something like yours with the segments you have, or just the natural chemistry that you and Joe have as well. I mean, it's
you bet not do Real Niggas of the Week.
No, he definitely about to do that. He gonna do that.
I could do Rate That Suit. I think I could do that.
Yeah. Salute or Rate That Suit, because I say it all the time. I tell you telling Bass all the time. I dress like Kevin Owens. I got on.
Are you that? What? Yeah, I noticed that one time, and I
have no business rating suits, but I just do it because it's Joe's segment, and I just like to help him out. I have no business rating anybody's outfit.
No, you're like Kevin Owens with the tattoos too, is the thing. So like when Kevin Owens just showed up tatted the fuck up. Yeah, you're definitely Kevin Owens. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a dinosaur on my hand just like him too. I don't know why he got a dinosaur.
Well, you have a hand tattoo now, right? You got the RAP on your hand, yeah.
Yeah, I got the.
See, I want a hand tattoo next, but I'm like, I know that's just gonna be painful as fuck.
Yeah, that shit hurt like a motherfucker.
Yeah. So I saw that video. You
sweet. What about mine, dude?
But that was I've been listening to your show. Like I said, just taking kind of these lessons to it. I had never really listened to it much prior, but I'm like, I gotta finally listen to this, because it was the thing where like I don't know where to start. Do I just start with that week's episode, or do I go back to the beginning, or do I pick a random one? I was kind of picking ones that just at sporadic times. I listened to the Saucy Santana's Bane one. I listened to Deliver Man. Again, you guys, and naming the episode is one of the fun parts of having a podcast. You guys have some fucking crazy names where it's again like Saucy Santana as Bane is up there.
I think the hardest part is like naming the episodes, because like I forget like what we was talking about. So like I just gotta like go throughout the episode. But sometimes I like we'll be talking and they're like, oh, that's a good name, and then I'll just type it in my notes.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like the name in the episode is the hardest part and the artwork.
Yeah, definitely.
That's
Which is why I always just stick with like our regular logo. Plus, that way people always associate like that's the brand. It's just this logo always using like the name.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part is the marketing of a podcast. Again, this shit doesn't take off easily. Again, we're coming up on 2 years next Sunday from the first time we ever recorded. And who would have thought where we are now, where we were back then, and even still, it's crazy just to think that and everything else. But
I feel like y'all platform, y'all do like a real good job with the marketing. The what is it called? YouTube Shorts. It's dope that y'all do that because a lot of people don't realize that.
That's Banks right there. Yeah, I don't spend time on that.
Yeah, well, salute Banks. I forgot he was even here. I'm just playing.
Yeah. Hey, I'm letting the little homie get his shit off. Yeah.
But the YouTube Shorts is like that's like a easy way to get like a bunch of like subscribers like instantly because like I don't know like the way they push it, like you get a bunch of views and like I don't know how it worked, but like a bunch of people they see the reel and just hit the subscribe button. So like that's the biggest thing. One of my pet peeves about podcasting, like I see from other platforms, is people that like don't post like no clips at all. They just like post they record a podcast that week, post a links on I'm laughing at Banks leaving. They just post a podcast and then they post a links the day that it dropped, like the video, the audio, and then they just don't do nothing else. They don't post no clips. Like a lot of people got ADHD or whatever the proper term for it is. A lot of people don't watch full podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people tell me like, "Oh, I support your podcast. I don't watch the full episode. I just watch the clips. When you play the clips, I just watch the clips, and that's all I'm gonna watch." And you gotta target that audience too that don't watch full podcasts in whole. Even sometimes there's podcasts out here that like I'm a fan of, but like I'm not about to sit there and watch like a 2-hour episode. I'm gonna watch the clip only.
And that's the reason I think that's why I've been back and forth on posting clips is that it's like people are only going to watch this instead of the whole episode. But I'll make sure again I'm not just posting the link on the day it drops and only that day, and then next week, hey, we have another one. It's like you kind of got to be consistent with it. And I in the last couple months I've kind of hated being on Twitter. You had a good thing on an episode where you're like, I hate being on Twitter. You're like, if I had to give up social media, it's tough because like it's your job in a way. Like to be a podcast, you kind of have to be aware of what's going on in the world or in the world according to the timeline. And you got to know what your topics you'll be talking about. Again, promotion, all of it. So the whole thing is, I always say it's like that's where it's a marathon, not a race, comes into effect. Like you got to play every aspect, clips, YouTube Shorts, which Banks he started doing that. And you just really got to play the algorithm at all levels. And sometimes, again, Twitter works. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes Instagram works. Sometimes it doesn't. Again, YouTube, you got to just cover all the bases. Audio, I think we kind of I had deaded the RSS feed, and you can try to get it back. But again, like people, I think, are going to watch more than listen. You would say you listen, but in these days now, whether you have a podcast with visuals or without it, people still want to watch you and because they can have it on in the background while they're watching something else. It's kind of that thing, and which will always why I try to say like run this one back if you missed it. There's some stuff there where like I'll always post old episodes too if a new one dropped, like that you have an archive and a catalog for a reason. I know people love everything new, but like if you just listen that week, go back. Like don't wait for the new one. It's the whole game in itself, and I think it's what some people either don't realize or it's tough to say. I mean, because you've been doing this for what, 5 years now, or
around like 7, but like I really started like figuring shit out around like 4 years ago. But also with the whole YouTube thing is it's kind of obvious. Like if you just post like one thing a week on your YouTube, YouTube not gonna push your shit at all because like you don't post enough. You gotta damn near post like every day. Like you gotta post at least something like every other day to get like for YouTube like push your shit out. If you just drop your podcast episode that day it came out, and then like don't post another thing again to like the next whatever day you drop, like YouTube not even gonna like help your shit. So your shit not gonna grow at all. It's like you just at that point, it's like you just like running on like you just like running in circles at that point. Like you're not helping yourself out at all. You're not growing at all. You just gonna be stagnant.
You gotta be in people's face consistently. I'm sorry. You gotta be in people's face consistently. You gotta always be in front of people's face. That's why I told Davis, and it's the same thing Amp is saying. Dog, people gotta see you every day. It's nerve-wracking, but people gotta see you every single day.
No, it is, because it's that thing of like we get it already, or like enough. It's the other aspect of like overdoing it, again, trying too hard. There's never really a good in between. And again,
but it's like a job. Like what I tell you last night, I'm like, damn, podcast is basically my main job. Of course, you got to work the shoot job, but this like the main job at this point. So if you're going to clock in,
well, Amp and Joe said if you have to work a real job, don't let anyone know, especially if you're a podcast. He said keep that shit to yourself.
They're talking about rappers.
I know that was a good. But he was also saying like the same thing for if you're a podcaster. He kind of like linked the two. It was more so if you're an up and coming rapper, like don't allude to the real life you have in that way, because it's going to downplay everything you're trying to present.
Yeah, I was saying that also, and I probably should have elaborated more. I was just basically talking about like, don't necessarily just like say where you work at. Just like if you want to present yourself as a podcaster, just like put that first. Like even if you do work a 9 to 5, if you want to make it as a podcaster, you put the podcasting shit first, and then the 9 to 5 comes second. The 9 to 5 is just something that helps you get the money to grow your podcast.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those things. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger, he got like a famous like clip where he was like he hate when people have like plan Bs and whatnot, because when you have a plan B, the plan B gets in front of your plan A. And I'm like, if you podcasting and that's your plan A, put that shit forward first. But like if you do got a 9 to 5, then keep working that shit, but put the podcast and shit first, of course.
Mm-hmm. No, that's just kind of what I've been doing. Yeah.
Sometimes if you trying to make it this podcast, you got to put it over like a lot of shit. You might even have to put it over like your relationship. What future stuff?
See, that's when we get into like the real. That's when you start spending.
What Tom Brady said.
What Tom Brady said.
All right, so let's have a
dirty in front of you.
You want to have a debate? Have you ever put podcasting over a woman?
Yeah, definitely a bunch of times.
Oh God, I'm not wired that way. Like that's because I'm simp man. At the end of the day, that's what it is. Like
yeah, you could be simp man, but you can't let you can't if that what you truly want to do with podcasting, you can't just let a relationship like get in front of that, because if you start to do that shit, then like women go off you, so they feel like they can like push your boundaries with your podcast, and they will. So like let's say you and Banks record every Sunday at like 12 p.m. or whatever, and like if your girl feel like she can persuade you like, oh, take me out 12 p.m. next Sunday, she gonna do that.
That's the thing too. Yeah, that's in the context of something like that. I understand what you mean. And an uncle of mine gave me some advice for like the woman you care about, and if she truly cares about you, she would support you no matter what.
Exactly.
I just mean in terms of like if a girl's like, oh, you want to go out tonight, and then like I'm like, oh, I actually got to record tonight, there's a good chance I'll like be 50-50, like yeah, we can go out tonight, versus nah, I gotta record as another time. It's very, again, it's not the end all be all.
Yeah, just pick another time. You got other days in the week. Like we ain't go out Thursday, let's go out Wednesday instead.
Thanks.
Oh shit.
That's just me, man. I just like I try not to put like personal shit in the way of what I'm trying to do, because like I actually like I ain't trying to talk shit, but like I actually make money off podcasting. So if a woman can't understand that, then it's like at this point, like it's more than a hobby. Like it's just like niggas actually making money off this shit. So it's like, and you can
this
see
isn't you hopping on Xbox Live for 3 hours to bullshit. Like
like we got like me and Joe got me and Joe got a studio. Like if I stop podcasting, we're gonna lose that studio. So I gotta keep podcasting.
No, I think it works in that aspect. But I just mean in the blatant sense again, where Banks is always like, "Ain't no woman gonna get in the way." Again, the real Tom Brady, like, "I'll put this before you." The Skip Bayless aspect of it again, it's like, this is my true love. You're second, and you're not even probably second. You're third, to be honest, because something's after this. Like,
now, if you got a podcast and you've been doing that shit for years, and you just got like 15 subscribers on your YouTube.
well, yeah,
you get like 20 plays on an episode, then take your girl out then, because you're not really doing that for real. So
we're not gonna get into but I know what you mean. It's
this is an example.
Yeah, well, that's the thing where I'm like, when we had started this, the first couple of months are rough. They're rough for everyone. You're like, oh, is there actually any growth? Who are we doing this for? Who's watching and all that? And you're still figuring out like what your show is gonna be. Do you want segments? What's it look like? What's it sound like? All this and that. But like when you're actually like a year in, and you're like, oh wow, we've made legit progress, real progress. And the second year, I think, has been better than the first year, and all the growth we made. And again, that's why you're like, we should get better logos. We should get better. It should look better aesthetically and all that. It should sound better. And, you also like don't want to be like, so we won't use drops, or we won't do images, or you'll play it like what makes it unique to us. Again, at the end of the day, we're just two guys talking into a mic about shit that we want to talk about. And that's kind of what it is. And if you haven't figured that out, like you said, with only 15 subscribers and you're 3 years in, then you're wasting your time more than anyone else's.
Yeah.
Sad to say. Like, because there's so much more you could be doing in that time span.
This other master don't even record podcasts, and he said the same thing that y'all just said.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I've done it for our show. I've done it for Black Wrestling. Yeah, I mean, and that's why, like, when we were on that break, I was posting videos of, again, best of compilations when we weren't posting anything new besides Part of the Banks. I'm like, well, there's again all this old stuff and great clips from this old stuff that you can watch again, and those did pretty well. It's that thing where even old stuff is still new stuff. That's why it's okay to post it every day, whether again people have seen it or not. Like, it could be new to someone else.
Yeah, you gotta, like, for example, like, we going viral right now on Facebook and like TikTok from like Natalie clips. I posted some Natalie clips. Like,
that was the first episode I ever listened to.
David's always talking about Natalie.
So last October, he hit me up. He was like, "Dude, Random Acts of Podcast."
So Banks had always talked about it, and then it was, I think, right before he went to producer y'all, but he was like, RAOP. I'm like, yeah, I've heard about that. I just haven't checked it out yet. Like, I'm like, I've seen you, E, from other people in the Discord talk about it. But I'm like, I haven't checked it out yet. But then I think I already might have been following you at the time as well, or Joe. But then Banks like, you gotta listen to this episode, and I'm like, okay. And then again, it's like a real pimp. I'm like, let me listen to this. And again, he was preaching again his whole, like, I can sell a CD for $5 and make more than so and so that's streaming. And there was a lot of wisdom in there, and it basically carried over, very similar to podcasting and all that. I mean, I'm not going to get the whole if they're not tricking their trucking or whatever, like, if they're not doing this and that, they're doing something else. I mean, the ultimate hustler, the ultimate. I mean, again, he's a businessman at the end of the day.
Yeah. A mogul, a corporation of bitches. But that shit, we posted the clip from that, and that, how long ago he was on the episode? Like maybe like 10 months ago, damn near a year. Posted the clips from that, and they're like going crazy. Like right now, like it's never too late to post a clip.
Yeah,
we had somebody. It's funny. We had somebody. I ain't gonna say their name. We had somebody on the show recently, and they was like, "Man, why you ain't post like no clips from my episode?" And I was like, "Bro, what we was talking about is like timeless. I can post those clips anytime.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's no rush."
I think that's what I've kind of tried to realize too. It's like what's worthy of a clip and like what's not is the thing. It's like it either has to be funny or has to resonate with something, again, like I said, that isn't topic of conversation in the zeitgeist and all that. Again, just post a random clip of you bullshitting, or if you have a great story or this and that, like, because then people will be able to search, and you also have to play like the algorithm game, like how do you title it, what words do you use, like do you play the blatant like blank review, like
that's like reviews, like that's one of the hardest parts, like figuring like
trying to cheat it. But I don't want to spend too much time, but I did want to ask you some podcast stuff, given how I was listening to you and talk about especially like stuff like the Breakfast Club when they were ending. Like you had some good about that, but it's just all of like figuring out like because it's tough. I mean, this took off when the pandemic hit. Again, that's why we started, and then the drop off after last year was legit. Like how many people stuck around and how many people are trying to stick around and how many people actually like blossoming is the other aspect of it. But 2020, like no one had anything to do but get on Zoom and record, like or try to record
and talk about $200 dates.
Yeah, the pandemic was a weird time for podcasting. I legit had like some subscribers like, man, and that shit kind of it made me feel some type of way, but like eventually I just got over it. Like it is what it is. Like I had somebody hit me up and was like, damn, I only really listen to y'all podcast on my way driving to work, and I work from home now, so I'm about to unsubscribe from the Patreon.
That is a tough thing. Like people will tell me that they listen. It's always tough when someone tells you that they listen because it's like, oh, like you checking, you say you listen to the show. I'm like, I'm not saying you're a lot. I'm just like, oh, to me, it's like, it just feels weird. But I'm always weird when I hear praise or, compliments. I'm just wired that way. But yeah, to hear someone again, that's probably why you started a podcast because then you were listening to stuff on your way to work or at work and on your way to your girls or like anything like. And now it was like the same thing for me. I'd listen to Black and Out's Table on my way to work while I was at work, and then it's the thing when I'm like recording with them. It's yeah. For someone to tell you that they're stopped listening because they work from home, so like, oh, you could still play it in the background. I mean,
yeah, I felt that way. I was like, when they sent that shit to me, I was like, damn, that's kind of crazy. But I was like, well, I just lost that listener, so let me get another one.
Yeah,
you replace that person.
But I did want to ask you about something because you had said this on a pod. You had said you had never watched the Mighty Ducks movies. And you had said you'd watch every Disney movie, but you had never watched the Mighty Ducks movies. Again, do you hate white people or like what's going on?
The Mighty, well, most Disney movies have white people in it, so.
Do you hate hockey? Like,
you gotta think about First Kid. I love hockey, even though the Florida Panthers disappointed.
I was gonna say, so you root for the Florida Panthers, yeah. So that.
Damn. Let me ask y'all this, and I feel like this is not out of bounds. I feel like it's so many classic Disney movies. Like nobody's seen all the classic Disney movies.
But the Mighty Ducks are the classic Disney movie to me.
I got you, but like they got so many classics where it's like it's hard to watch all the classics.
Name some other classic. Name some that you think are classics to rival the Mighty Ducks.
Blank Check.
Okay, that is a good one. Yeah, all right.
All the cartoon movies like Lion King, Toy Story.
Let's not go in the come on. I'm talking like the real life ones. Let's not cheat with the animation. I always shit on animation, and people will say like this Batman animated movie is better than this real Batman animated movie. It's like they had 8 weeks to draw it. Let's fucking cut some slack. Like,
damn. First Kid.
A man got in a booth and recorded lines for 2 days versus Ben Affleck having to be on set for 3 months. Like, come on.
Blank Check is one, right?
Yeah, Blank Check is one.
Blank Check.
Blank Check is like, I want to be rich one day. That movie fucked me up because it's like, I want to be, especially when you're a kid, like, I want to get money now. Like,
no, he was just TJX6. He was just scamming.
Yeah, pretty much.
He was. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is like, and again, like, this older woman is kind of like falling. It was weird movies in the 90s.
Well, you got the money, you get the old women, even if you're 15.
So Blank Check, you had said First Kid. That's when Sinbad's the bodyguard of the president's son. Yeah, I've only seen that once.
Heavyweights was a really good one.
Again, a movie about the 90s. So harsh. So
Keenan was in that.
Keenan Goldberg from the Mighty Ducks. Again, like, but you want to know that because you haven't watched it.
Yeah. What's some other ones? Hocus Pocus.
Again, the other. Yeah. You gonna see Hocus Pocus too?
Hell no. I thought they even got that done.
Because Disney Plus needs content.
Yeah, I don't even got the Disney Plus network. That shit's not good to me.
You got to get the bundle of Hulu and ESPN Plus. But you had said you're subscribed to like all these streamers and you don't use any of them.
Yeah, I I think I pay like $15 a month on Hulu. What's the Hulu with the no ads?
Yeah, it sounds like because you
I
say all
play-
you do is just watch shit on YouTube, and I'm like, this man just
Yeah, I just watch
money.
I just watch
But
YouTube.
This is the flex because you get money from podcasts, and you're like, who cares if I use the fucking Netflix money? Like, go ahead and take it.
Yeah, it's like at this point, I'm like,
hey, I miss Quanflix. That was Disney Plus, Netflix, Hulu, all in one.
Cornflakes was the best. Cornflakes was the best shit ever.
Hey, real quick, so I'm not really stitching, but we was on Amp account, bro. Well, it is kind of stitching. It was like 6 people on Amp account.
Nah, it was more than that. It was like 12 people. That's why the count got taken down.
It was somebody in city of Florida. I won't say where. It was like he asked me. He was like, or he asked a couple people. He was like, "Yo, is y'all in such and such city using it?" It was like, "No." He was like, "All right, so somebody got the login that I don't know of because I was out here using it."
Yeah, I remember I changed the password a couple times because I'll log on the Cornflakes account and like somebody be watching like Love and Hip Hop. And I was like, all right, I need to go ahead and change the password because y'all watching stupid shit on here, messing up the algorithm.
I think Devin or Joe, I think it was Devin, he got mad at me because I was watching something he was watching. Now I reverted back to the beginning.
See, this is there's nothing worse than like someone having I talked about this with Banks the other day. Like if your girl's watching like stuff on your YouTube, it's like now it's recommending all this stuff. And like I don't watch this shit. Like or like when your family, like I share my accounts with my family, but for some reason. I don't know how this happened, but like when I went on Netflix, someone had watched 3 episodes of the live action Cowboy Bebop, and I'm like, it wasn't me for damn sure. Like, unless this is Netflix trying to trick me, like, hey, you were watching Cowboy Bebop, and I'm like, I don't remember watching Cowboy Bebop. So
my biggest thing is when you share your account with somebody and they make their own profile. I'm like, all right, you're doing too much.
I make the profiles for my home song. You're not gonna get like Banks, so you're not gonna. I'm watching this show and then I want to watch this now and go back to the beginning and have me lose my place. You're not going to fuck with my watch list and like what's this on here. I'm not trying to watch this show and all that. It's sharing the accounts. It's a great way to not have to pay for the same services, but yeah, you got to create different profiles.
I'm for that, but like I remember one time it was like me, my dad, and my sister on my dad Netflix account, and my sister gave like one of her homegirls like the password, and she was making a profile. I was like, "You're tripping right now. Like, you ain't even really supposed to be on this shit, and you making profiles. Like, you either watch it off my sister's shit or don't watch it at all." Like, every time I seen her shit, I deleted it every time.
You're not even watching it anyways. You're just being the sheriff to be the sheriff.
Like the principal. Like, come on, you got too much different profiles on other people's shit. Nah. Either watch it off my sister's shit or don't get on it.
But let me explain why you should watch The Mighty Ducks real quick, because it's the best sports franchise in movies. It's better than Rocky. I mean, there really aren't too many sports franchises, but it's a phenomenal story. It basically copies Rocky in a way because it's this underdog story. They actually get to win in the end. Spoiler alert, but you probably know that because it's a kids' movies. The kids, they always have happy endings.
I hear D2 is like one of the best Disney movies ever.
D2 is Rocky 3 because they have to go to fucking South Central to get the Eye of the Tiger. Like they have to go play Kenan Thompson and his brother in street hockey, so they have to toughen them up, which then makes them go and beat Iceland. Like, yeah. And that's when I think Joe says like Kenan Thompson has the knuckle puck, which is like I tried to do that when I played street hockey, but I couldn't actually rollerblade, so I would just play with my bare feet, my shoes. And then D3, it gets real, it gets gritty. They're in high school, they're at an academy, they have a new coach. There's a great emotional moment. It runs the gambit of the first 5 Rocky movies. So I say you should definitely check it out. Yeah.
I want to check it out. I feel like I tried to watch one of them and then like I just didn't finish it. Cool Runnings is another classic Disney movie.
I've only really seen Cool Runnings once, and I was like, to me. So
you ain't like Cool Runnings?
I think I was just like too old for it when maybe it's the thing. Yeah, well, you in the My Deck's like, if I didn't see it at this age, it's not. There's no point really which is the thing too. Like when you watch stuff, when you go back to watch stuff that you loved as a kid, like, oh, I loved this. Like this is actually kind of bad. Like. That's always a tough thing.
I hear from Cool Runnings every day is Josh with his fake Jamaican accent. Every day is Kendall. So,
but yeah, no, I highly recommend. I was gonna do like a whole episode because they did the Disney Plus series, but I watched the first episode of that and it was bad. I'm like, nope, I'm not watching this any further.
I had it's crazy because like I think I mentioned it. Like I used to watch the Mighty Ducks like cartoon with like the actual ducks.
Yeah,
that shit was amazing.
That shit was dope.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, I have the action figures, all that. Like the 90s stuff that we basically just talked about this the other day with like Street Sharks, SWAT Cats, like animals that were action stars, but like it was again, I mean Thundercats was a little bit earlier, but again, like they're just like, let's have this creature be a cop. Like that was their grand idea.
What was the other one? I think it was called like Biker Mice from Mars. That was fire too. It was like a bunch of classic ones.
Samurai Piece of Cats. I used to watch that. It was an anime though.
I had SWAT Cats on. I think I actually still got it on Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Warriors of Virtue with the fucking kangaroos or like samurai?
Yeah. Oh, I like seen it like an episode.
No, it's a movie. It's a movie. It's like this kid gets like he falls into like this what was like a sewer kind of thing, Banks, and he wakes up in like a world where like these 8 feet tall marsupials, or again, it's basically like 7 samurai, but with kangaroos.
They got sticks and shit.
Yeah.
That made me remember, like when you just said that, made me remember another classic Disney movie, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah, they're supposed to be doing a reboot of that, a remake, and that they got Rick Moranis to come back allegedly.
That's crazy. They got him.
Yeah,
he disappeared like 30 years ago.
Yeah, he because his wife had cancer.
His wife died.
He went home to be a family man. Yeah, he had done one. Banks, did you ever see Brother Bear?
Yeah, I seen that.
He was the voice of one of the moose in that. I saw Brother Bear in the theater too. Because I was 7, 8 years old. I think Big Mike took me and my brother to go see Brother Bear. The voice of Junior was the voice of the little bear in that movie.
That's right.
From Bernie Mac, yeah.
How about they get a little kid from Bernie Mac was in that
shit? They should have had Bernie Mac do the adult bear. Let me tell you something. I'm sick of this shit. Motherfucking mooses and all this shit. Busting shit.
But the other thing, Amber, I'd always kind of ask Banks, like, why don't you do a wrestling podcast? But then I'm like, oh, it makes sense because there's like everyone has a wrestling podcast. Because I see on the timeline I talk about a lot about wrestling, and you're a wrestling fan. Obviously, you're aware of Kevin Owens, how great of a wrestler he is.
The GOAT.
You talk a lot about AEW. But yeah, I'd wonder, like, why doesn't he do a wrestling podcast? And I understood kind of after, like, oh yeah, you don't want to just be known on the timeline for wrestling, or like it wants to be an escape, or like to not have to pod about it. It's like, again, like this is my, like I can just watch this and love it as a fan in a way, instead of like having to be a commenter on it. Not that you don't in other places, but I was wondering, like, why doesn't REOP have a wrestling show that you and Banks would do or whatever?
Banks got enough podcasts. I ain't gonna bother him.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Whatever you want to do, come on.
I fuck with wrestling. I fuck with wrestling heavy, obviously, but I don't want to do a wrestling podcast. That's another thing. People assume Random Acts of Podcast is a wrestling podcast all the time. Like, I've got people like listen to it recently that have been following me for years.
You be dropping wrestling references. That's why. I mean,
yeah, and they be like,
I asked Banks to send the Mankind video last night about I'm driving.
And then hit me up recently. They were like, "Hey man, I would have listened to your show a long time ago. I thought it was a wrestling podcast." Oh.
I think you just made Joe watch what clips of the Claymore kick.
Yeah, we just watch clips here and there. Like that's as far as you get.
Yeah, like, on the New Jack.
As far as the wrestling. Yeah, it's so many of y'all that do good wrestling podcasts where you just watch that. Like I'm not really interested in wrestling podcasts.
But yeah, it's only so much you can talk about anyway. Like when I do Partner Banks, I'll talk about it a little bit, but it's only so much because we got Davis doing it, we got Eve doing it. You know what I mean? They good enough. If I got my people doing it, I don't need to talk about something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the whole point of podcasting, is not to talk about everything else everybody else talk about, because that's too easy. I can go on fucking Twitter. Hey, man, such and such, this happened, and then talk about it. Motherfucker, you saying the same thing that somebody else quote tweeted. So that's not entertaining.
Quote tweets kill Twitter just to begin with. That's
no,
a whole
fleets.
topic.
Fleets being taken away killed Twitter. I was popping off the fleets.
You were the only man that loved fleets. You were,
bro. Fleets was hard,
right? I was getting looks on fleets, boy.
Fleets was hard, especially like promoting shit. Like every time, like I'll post a fleet and be like, "Hey, can y'all retweet this?" Most everybody watched that motherfucker retweeted it. Used to work every time. I needed something to promote. I post on the fleet like, "Hey, retweet this." Worked every time.
All the time, you feel me? The OnlyFans hoes was posting shit in the fleet. I was googling their name. I wasn't gonna pay, but yeah.
Oh, that shit was crazy. That like the last day of fleets when like everybody was just getting naked.
Banks was just like,
oh no, I'll say something. That's it.
No, but so AEW being in Jacksonville, I think you've been kind of a anti-AEW, if I'm not mistaken, right? You haven't been the biggest supporter of your local company.
Nah. Though salute to the homie Stokely. He be trying to get me to be involved, but I'm sorry, bro. I know he the homie and all, but like I'm not a fake person at all. If I don't like this shit, I don't care who I'm cool with involved with it. I ain't watching it. And
you ain't trying to be in the baddie section.
I can't be a fake person, bro. If the shit not good, then it's just not good. So,
hey man, fuck all that. Hey Stokely, get me in the baddie section. He don't want to be there.
I don't even think he with them no more.
No. Remember, he started his own shit today. This week.
He got like 5 men in there. He was with 3 fine ass women. I don't know how that happened.
Well, that's the whole thing again. Where like Tony Khan and Jay Cargill, it seems like he doesn't know what to do with her, but it seems like she only wants to do what she wants to do. Did you ever go to a show, AEW show in Jacksonville?
Nah, they rarely in Jacksonville, I think they in Jacksonville next month. I'm gonna try and pull up to that one.
I mean, to say that they were rarely in Jacksonville, they were in Jacksonville the whole pandemic. They left for like 2 weeks, then came right back to Jacksonville. It's like, we're on the road back in Jacksonville. It's like you were just sitting there for a year.
Yeah, but I get you. But like once they hit the road, like they just like never came back.
They haven't been back. Yeah, they haven't been back since.
Yeah, and they doing a show next month, and I think that show next month is like it's advertised as like the last show in Jacksonville this year.
It might be the last.
What's they show on Friday? What's they show on Friday?
Rampage.
Yeah, I think it's like a Rampage show.
That means it'll be Dynamite before it, because when they came here and they record Rampage right after.
Oh, okay.
Dynamite. So they do the tapings.
Yeah, they use that shit like Sunday Night Heat, but at this point right now, this might be their last one if this Warner and Discovery deal happen.
What?
Warner, NBC, Warner. Everybody buying each other out. NBC, Warner, Discovery, yeah.
Which is weird in a way, because like, I mean, that's what we'll get into. Like, thanks. We talk about, so we go like just the mega corporation in the world. We'll probably get to.
This is the real game banging. Fuck where I'm from. This is the real game banging, because it's Disney going against everybody. These people joining up like goddamn Megatron. They go against this company, but then everybody trying to go against Amazon, who they own are about to be.
That's what it is. That's what it is. It's like, who can take on Amazon?
Nobody. God, that's it.
And but like Amazon you said, got football, so it's like nobody fucking with them.
But that's the thing. It's like, Banks, you said that Lord of the Rings show was Xena Warrior Princess, which is like, yeesh, to spend $400 million on a show that looks like it's from the 90s is not the move. And again, they get the one football game for now, at least. A week.
Yeah, because I feel like everybody about to go over there. Sunday ticket about to be obsolete soon.
Not just that, they'll probably buy a weekly like NBA game at some point. They'll buy.
They got the WNBA, but they bought that for $10.
I mean, they could really run everything, but again, NBC, Universal, Comcast, because it's both buying the now minted Warner Discovery. It's like, again, we said this, like they went broke buying Warner Brothers, so now they just have to be bought out to buy NBC Universal. So would we get like a Fast and Furious Matrix crossover, or like think of the possibilities we could get with all the IP mix? I mean, people were talking about AEW and WWE being under the same banner, but there's also potential that Fox could, if they are fully involved with interest in WWE, they can buy them as well. And again, what's their service? They would have nothing to put the content library on, because Fox doesn't. I mean, I think Fox does have an app, but I think it's all Republican shit. What do you think about this, Amp? As someone who, like, because you cover entertainment news and all that, but do you care about like what company owns who, like, and like how it affects? Again, there's a whole Batgirl movie that was canceled. Certain shows might not get renewed. Do you care about like NBC and Universal?
I probably should pay attention to it more, but like I don't really. Like at the end of the day, it's just like a bunch of billionaires just like owning shit. So like I just don't care. As long as y'all post, as long as y'all make good content and it actually get out and not cancel, then like at that point I just like don't give a fuck who owns what.
That's really what it is. It's putting cable on the internet at this point. They were worried about cable dying because people were cutting the cord to watch everything on Hulu or to watch everything on their own streaming service. And like, well, if we combine this content library from over here and over here and over here, then we can just have a mega one. And then if we partner up with this one, we'll form the mega cable channel where there's only like 3 other cable channels over there. There was talks of like Showtime might merge with Paramount Plus because that's all Viacom, CBS. It's just like, what's the point in having Showtime on its own when you're trying to boost up Paramount Plus? And that was the thing that they were talking about with Warner Discovery, where it's like, does HBO Max fold into Discovery's app, or do they keep it standalone? It's all, again, like I said, it's just rich guys playing checkers with, content and companies. It's its own game in a way.
Yeah,
it's just gonna do when somebody buy Random Max.
Oh, get that bag, man.
I was about to say, would you, if someone came to you, would you sell it?
Yeah, I'm gonna get my skin lightened also, and my name's gonna be Amp Sosa
or Davis. Yeah, you could do that as well.
I was about to say,
but also like this, man, that shit's so confusing because like I said before, like I really don't watch TV like that.
Yeah,
like the only
that's what I'm asking you. What, like, you're like,
the only shows I was really watching was I was watching Ray Donovan, I was watching Better Call Saul. Both of those are gone, and then like I don't have cable, so like I was trying to watch Better Call Saul, and like that shit was hard to find. Like I had to go like on like Apple TV and like pay like an extra like $3 a month to finish that out. Like the whole TV things is like confusing as fuck to me. So now I just go on Google and be like, I just put whatever it is and stream it, and if I want to watch that show, I just pay the streaming fee. Like,
yeah, that's what killed it. I mean, because again, we grew up on cable in a way, or at least with regular TV, and like you'd have to watch it at that time when it came on. It's like otherwise you missed it. Again, like thanks, we just did the SmackDown episode for Wrestling Verse, and you're like, this at the time where like you had to watch SmackDown when SmackDown came on, otherwise like you wouldn't get to see it again.
Yeah, it's like a big chunk of like, for example, on SmackDown when I think it was JBL's title run, I didn't see any of that because in Jacksonville.
Well, you weren't missing much on that title run. You were missing John Cena on the rise, but that title run was
I didn't see any of that. I didn't see that. I didn't see the Batista title run. I didn't see none of that because.
So you didn't see Muhammad Hassan choke out the Undertaker?
I think I seen like a little bit of that. That might be like right before it left, but Jacksonville had lost UPN for whatever reason, so we didn't have UPN flight for years. And then like I started seeing it. I think it moved to a channel called like what's the shit called? It moved to some channel. I don't think it was like the CW. It was something.
It was the CW. No, it went from UPN to the CW to My Network TV.
Oh, My Network. Once it went to My Network.
My Network was after the CW, though.
but like for whatever reason, it used to be on my network, but it didn't show on to my network till like midnight. It was like the weirdest shit ever. So like it was like a 4 or 5 year gap where I didn't watch SmackDown at all, or I couldn't watch it.
But it didn't. So were you during the Monday Night Wars? Were you always WCW or WWE? Because if you're talking about like missing SmackDowns, like that was kind of the show that didn't matter during that time when you're skipping it.
Yeah, I was always WWE. I was always.
So you never got into like TNA?
If I'm not mistaken, WCW wasn't on 8, and then like Raw came on 9. So I used to watch WCW like the first hour, and then like Raw the rest of the night. My favorite wrestler of all time is DDP. So I used to watch
DDP.
I used to watch the DDP matches.
Oh my god,
that was my favorite wrestler.
DDP and Kevin Owens.
DDP and Kevin Owens. Those are my goats.
That's a nasty combination. Yeah.
Again, what about what about TNA? Because they were Florida based. Again, much like AEW, the competition, the alternative, but they had some.
I didn't watch TNA. No.
Was it the 6-sided ring?
Nah, I don't know. I just didn't watch it.
Again, they had DDP for a bit. They had Jeff Jarrett. They had your boy Kevin Nash. They had.
Yeah, I didn't watch TNA at all.
Damn. All right, I see how it is.
Like, I remember, I forgot who posted that clip. I think it was like the A show. They posted like a clip of like Rick Ross.
Rick Ross was at a TNA show.
Yeah, I was like, I did not know none of this shit happened.
I had never seen that until they had posted. I'm like, why the fuck was Rick Ross there? Like,
he almost slapped Buddy too.
Yeah, I ain't never seen that shit.
So when we invite you to do a Wrestling Verse podcast with us, which is when we commentate over a pay-per-view, what pay-per-view are you picking?
I'm gonna be honest, since I didn't watch it, I want to see a TNA pay-per-view.
Yeah,
wow.
We can do that right now. All right, let's end
this. Yeah, since I seen like just about all the WWE pay-per-views. Like I want to do a TNA pay-per-view since I ain't never watched this shit.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. We can't do something like Lockdown where it's all steel cages because you'd be like, this shit's just repetitive. Like
it's like that, and everybody was so old, so they couldn't move around properly.
Like I be watching like random like wrestling like YouTube channels where they be talking about like TNA shit, and they did like the top TNA like deaths. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, what is this about? And then like they did like episodes where they like apparently they was like killing people in TNA. Like Mickey James got killed on the episode. I was like, I've never watched.
They would definitely overdo it at times. Didn't someone get shot during the pandemic, Banks?
Yeah, a little kid got killed on the episode.
Yeah. I think nobody be watching, so they do whatever they want.
That's what it is. Yeah,
I think it was like the Conan and the like LAX feud or some shit like that. And like they killed the kid. I was like, what the fuck? Well, even I know that I don't even watch this shit.
Original LAX was like, don't fuck with these guys. Like they were breaking bottles over. They blinded Christopher Daniels, right, Banks? Like they broke the bottles over him, and like they broke AJ Styles' neck. Like they had AJ Styles in the neck brace after Homicide did the Gringo Killer. Like they was fucking dudes up. Like you did not want to mess with original LAX.
Because they used to cut smooth ass promos on you, or they used to talk about America.
We gonna go 51-50.
Yeah, they used to talk about America ain't being shit, and then they'll beat the fuck out of somebody else. Like, oh yeah, I'm fucking with this, bro.
Yeah, Conan was like, they pick on the black and the brown. These crackers. I'm like, what the hell? Like I'm 11 years old. Like what?
He used to say it right in front of Mike Tenay. You know, Mike Tenay wanted to say a slur.
I think he was just went, what are you gonna say about that, Mike Tenay? What are you gonna say, huh?
He used to want to say something. Well, I'll tell you. Yeah, I'm about to wild out.
Again, like Homicide was like 187, and he would just again like drop a dude on his fucking neck. It's like holy shit. I mean, Hernandez would toss people from ring post to ring post.
Hernandez still on there too.
Yeah, but
how is TNA still around?
I keep
Steve Harvey, right?
Steve Harvey, bro. Steve Harvey and Dr. Phil. They own it.
Oh damn.
Or co-own it.
Again, that's how you know you have too much money. If you're keeping this fucking cockroach of an organization together, because that shit has survived everything.
Bro, it's only 3 people I pay attention to in that company, and they shouldn't be there.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Is like, and again, it's like, how are you staying there? Like, you ain't getting no money. Like,
yeah, that's part. I'm pretty sure you could easily break a TNA contract. You just rip it.
Like, no, that's what it is.
Except
they have one woman suspended because she wants to leave and they won't let her out. So apparently she has to like sit out the rest of her contract without wrestling for them, which is like, damn.
Who?
I think Lady Frost or whatever. It's basically like a 360 deal. They got her in or something like that. We're like,
oh yeah, no, they definitely catch records, yeah.
Yeah,
man, I ain't no expert, but I feel like it's easy to get out these wrestling contracts. You remember Lucha Underground?
Yeah.
They had like a bunch of wrestlers like in like ridiculous like 6-7 year deals.
The Young Bucks said they didn't sign because they had to sign for 5 years, and the Young Bucks were not doing that.
Yeah, and it's like a bunch of people. They were like, when the show got canceled, like they still had to be in that deal, which like made no sense.
Mm-hmm. Because when Ricochet was Prince Puma, he couldn't do anything outside of Lucha Underground. Like that's why he was in New Japan for a little bit, but then stopped because he had to be like obligated to Lucha Underground first.
Yeah,
because that's why when he showed up one time at like I think a New Japan in California, it was like a big deal because he hadn't been there for almost like a year and a half because that Lucha Underground they were locking people again. Did you watch Lucha Underground? I never really gave it time.
I love Lucha Underground. I watched every episode.
It was too cartoony for me. That was the thing of like, is that what you liked about it?
Yeah. I took like the wrestling like out of it and just like watched it like a TV show. Like they were killing people on that shit.
They had zombies. They had a man who was like a dragon. They were going. It was basically like grindhouse movies with wrestling.
Then they had like Rey Mysterio's on there for like you said Prince Puma.
Yeah, that's why I didn't fuck with it because it was just like the story was too cartoony, and then the actual wrestling was it was too fake. It was too staged to be.
Yeah, it was too bound. It was
like that. That ring was like no one was getting hurt taking a bump in that ring. Like it was so springy and so loud. Like, and that's why they would do like crazy stunts. Like all the stunts that people would post on Twitter about like Lucha Underground was so awesome. It's like it was a stunt show. It was a Six Flags stunt show, basically.
Yeah. I didn't like consider it like I used to watch it as a TV show. Like I was more like in tune with like the characters and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It had that one burger on there.
Oh, he was on there?
Who?
The burger. Yeah, say his name, number 52.
Yeah, he was still shot. He was still shot.
Yeah, he used to wear a mask.
Yeah. Again, I think his whole thing, like him and AR Fox were soldiers. And then like AR Fox abandoned him or something like that. Like, and it was basically like they were trying to get too like cinema with the storytelling of like.
And was the mask? Was the mask a raccoon mask?
Yeah, it was. Hey, what was like? Then they'll have like a match where it'd be like a really big, like 350-pound dude wrestling like a woman, and she's doing like suplexes and shit on him.
Yes, they had like Sexy Star Wrestlemen and all that, and Eva Lise was like the woman in the trios tag. Yeah,
didn't Sexy Star get like canceled or something like that?
Yeah, she was taking liberties. Yeah.
Beg your pardon.
She was beating women up in the ring for real.
Okay, what's the problem? Hey, real nigga of the week.
She was trying to break a woman's arm in a shoot. Like,
nah, she was hurting people. There's nothing real about that.
Hey, fight back. You try to break my arm? Oh,
I'd like to see someone do that to you, you fucking bitch.
All right, bet. Hey, it's something called a screwdriver.
Here you go. Now you gotta bring in. I mean,
hey, New Jack. Hey, the New Jack of podcast, and I'm about to start.
There's something called a gun.
However, there are no rules in the fight. I think Joe said that when you said you threw sand in the dude's eyes, and then Joe's like, in a fight, anything goes. Like it don't matter. I mean, it might.
I was getting my ass beat. I had to do something.
Your ass beat. You gotta do whatever it takes.
Hey man, and fight like a Dominican, bro.
I feel like he was fucking Rusty Shockford. Sand, just like.
I had to do what I had to do.
Like throwing sand is kind of OD.
It is because that's legit. Like like.
But you gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah, I believe in a straight up fade. Y'all from the old school, y'all.
Nah, I respect it. You gotta use whatever tactics to win. Again, this ain't a boxing. This ain't a boxing exhibition. There are no sanctions. We ain't got no
exactly.
judges. The fuck you gotta fight clean for? I mean, a gun is kind of unwarranted. If you're but
no, it's warranted.
It depends.
We can't talk too much about that on YouTube, but yeah, I feel like you know what I mean.
Unless it's not loaded, and you're just gonna pistol whip someone like fucking Henry Hill, then it's allowed. But
well, then you might as well get shot, because if somebody pistol whip you, bro, that's iron going to the back of your neck. Pause.
This may sound crazy. I almost prefer somebody shoot me up a pistol whipping me.
Yeah,
you pistol whip me. I agree. Pistol whip me, you think I'm a bitch.
Just like someone putting a biscuit in the bag instead of the box, right?
Yeah.
That was my favorite story of listening to a pod this year. As you say, like, I went to Popeyes, they put the biscuit on top of the box.
Hey man, I can't say the Popeyes.
You were heated. I had never heard someone so mad.
Yeah, Banks know what Popeyes I'm talking about. That Popeyes is so disrespectful. Like
that motherfucker gave me food poison.
You're like, they put the biscuit on top of the, they put the biscuit on the box. You were just like so like,
yeah. I remember one time I went there and they said we ain't got no lids for our drinks.
Yeah, that's the thing. And you were like, yeah, I must look like a bitch, right? That's what you would say.
I was like, oh, okay. So I'm thinking they not gonna give me a drink or whatever. They say no, they hand me the drink, a big ass drink with no lid on it, and I'm like, what the fuck?
That's how my dad like will go into like a gas station, go to the fountain soda. He won't put a lid on his drink.
He drive around with no lid on the drink?
Yeah.
Center console all sticky.
White, that's what I'm saying. You should hate white people. Don't trust them. Like, we'll do weird shit like that. Like, that is serial killer behavior. Like,
nah, it's just your pops is an improviser. You feel me? Like, he's just like, all right, I'll figure it out. But at the same time,
no, because it's not like they're out of lids. It's like improvise. No, that's.
Yeah, I don't like when I get to the house, I probably might take the lid off, but I'm like, I gotta drive home. And you got the drink, and they got the drink filled to the rim. Like when she handed it to me, it's getting on her hand too, because it's like so filled.
Drink of like so it doesn't spill. That's like she's handing it to you, yeah.
Both our hands sticky now. I'm like,
that's the name of the episode.
at least like I don't know what you do at that point. Like put a paper towel. I don't know, man. Like how do y'all run out of lids?
That is a weird thing to run out of.
Like go to Burger King down the street or something. Like, hey, can I borrow some of y'all? I don't know.
Go to the dollar store. Yeah, I
don't know what you like. How do you run out of lids? Like that makes no sense. Like your manager sucks.
Well, I met her, so yeah, you about right.
All right.
I don't want to say too much, but yeah.
Like something you want to tell us, Banks?
Whoa.
She's very unprofessional. Yeah, that's what I say. Hey, that Popeyes is the reason why I stopped eating chicken for a while. I was like, dog, am I getting sick for the chicken? Dog, the motherfuckers just food poison me.
Yeah, that's the worst Popeyes under the sun.
Yeah, no, hands down. I can't even lie, bro.
Before we get out of here, I did want to ask, because I don't know too many. You're a Jags fan, correct?
Yep, unfortunately.
I don't know too many Jags fans. Top 5 favorite Jaguars of all time.
Top 5? Well, Fred Taylor, Jimmy Smith, Mark Brunell, and it's all gonna be old school.
Really, Mark Brunell?
Yeah, Mark Brunell. Maurice Jones-Drew.
Bay Area legend.
5, I'm probably gonna go
Jalen Ramsey.
I wasn't with Jalen Ramsey.
He took y'all to the AFC title game at least. Like,
yeah.
And the sassiness, I mean, he was a viral gold mine. I mean,
yeah, I'm either go Jalen or Miles Jack. This is number 5.
I'm shocked you didn't put my guy Calais Campbell.
Nah.
No, you don't like Calais Campbell?
He only played for us like 2 years.
I know he was better in Arizona, but still.
Yeah, he did. Like he was on that team that had us at the AFC Championship, but like I think he only played for like maybe like 2 or 3 years. So it was like one of them things where like he was there to like the same amount of time, because people gotta realize Jalen Ramsey wasn't a Jaguar long.
He showed up and he said, "I'm splitting." Like he's splitting.
Yeah, he was only a Jaguar like maybe like 2 or 3 years. So it's just like, and then also it's not Jalen. I know a lot of Jag fans hate Jalen Ramsey, but it's not his fault. Like he was a star, and they didn't treat him like a star at all. Like the
they got a
Jaguars
great
don't know how to
deal.
treat
They got
their
like what,
stars. So yeah,
3 first-round picks for him or whatever. They got a deal out of it.
Yeah, they got a good amount, but it's like at that point I would like rather have Jalen. Like just give him the money that he wanted. They didn't want to give him the money. They was taking money from him. Like they didn't know. Like it's Tom Coughlin's fault that we lost that team.
I was about to say, do you think they'll ever win a Super Bowl, given how like cursed they are from the coaches they've had, the management? Again, Tony Khan and his father being the owners.
It's gonna take it. Well, first of all, Tony, what's his name? Shad Khan. That's his pop.
Yeah, Shad Khan.
Shad Khan. Like
basically,
he's a terrible owner. Like he cared more about other shit than Jaguars. But at this point, it's gonna take a while for right now. People don't even want to like sign to the Jaguars because like that shit that Tom Coughlin was doing. So it's gonna take like a while to get like that shit like erased from our history. So I don't know. Last week. We lost last week, but I didn't hate that loss. It was like we played decent.
But do you believe in Trevor Lawrence?
I don't know, man. He be getting some ass throws off.
It's the ultimate, like, you can't be great in college and be great in the pros if you're a quarterback. Yeah. It's the ultimate, like, that's guaranteed to work the opposite.
Yeah, it's like, and the O-line is decent. So I know Doug Peterson seemed like a decent coach. So I don't know. It's just they just got to give him some time to develop.
Nah, I don't think. They do play in the easiest division as well. To be honest, like let's say, Titans.
Oh, is that easy? Well, they gotta be.
Yeah, the Texans and
the Colts.
Yeah, especially again, the easiest division since Peyton Manning left, because Andrew Luck couldn't stay healthy because he was playing football. Like,
yeah, Titans always the number one team in the division. The Titans don't ever do shit. Titans don't ever win nothing.
So you would, and again, the Houston Texans, they thought they had something, and then that man turned out to be the nastiest man.
Yeah, the nastiest man you could possibly find.
So it's like all the competition is shooting itself in the foot. Like you had Peyton Manning kick your ass for 15 plus years. He leaves. Andrew Luck is the next savior, but again, like they can't protect that man. His body just probably wasn't built for football after a certain point.
It's crazy because when Andrew Luck was playing, like we was beating the Colts. It's like we can't beat the Titans for whatever reason. And the Titans fans, they talk the most shit. And they haven't won nothing.
They haven't won. That's the thing. It's you're the Titans. Like, settle down.
I'm sorry. I know people get mad when I make my Steve McNair jokes. I do my Steve McNair jokes because I hate Titans fan, and they fueled my Steve McNair jokes. Because I don't hate Steve McNair, but like the Titans fans make me go.
What about Vince Young? You hate Vince Young?
I don't.
Kerry Collins.
I almost said something crazy, but like
Chris Johnson.
He was wrong with CTE because he's from Texas, but that's besides the point.
I don't hate these people, but like I hate Titans fans so much they make me go. They make me do things that I don't want to do.
They make me do things. Yeah, you're like, what are you like?
Yeah, Titans fans, it's y'all fault. I'm due to Steve McNair jokes.
In the same draft, you guys took Blaine Gabbert. They took Jake Locker, so it was a real a rock fight right there.
Yeah.
They said Jake Locker was going to be the next Tim Tebow, and I kind of believed that until he went back that extra year in college and he fucked up his entire draft stock.
I forgot all about him.
Yeah, CTE killed his career.
He might be like a used car salesman now or some shit like that.
Yeah, definitely. Blaine Gabbert's still getting jobs, which is like this. He was a guy who I think was as dumb as he seems, like as dumb as he looks, like.
I think wasn't Blaine Gabbert like y'all quarterback on the 49ers? I think y'all had beat us one year with like Blaine Gabbert is like the starting quarterback.
I was about to stop watching football at that point because they were treating Kaepernick the way they were he had started kneeling and protesting. He was my favorite Niner of all time. And they're like, we're gonna put Blaine Gabbert over Colin Kaepernick. I'm like, Blaine Gabbert can't read a fucking sentence, let alone a playbook. Like he ran onto the sideline from Brian Cushing and said, whoa there, motherfucker. Like the camera picked that up on CBS's broadcast. Look it up, like Blaine Gabbert, Brian Cushing. It's a hilarious, like, live mic situation. But Yeah, Blaine Gabbert was a guy who just put up numbers in college and didn't even like win is the thing. He's like, it's almost like a Graham Harrell type situation. Like Colt
those
Brennan.
were some dark years. Like when Jaguars had like Blaine Gabbert as a quarterback. Like, oh my god.
I mean, Blake Bortles isn't dark, is it?
Nah, the Blaine Gabbert year is more dark. You know who my favorite Jaguar quarterback is? Gardner Minshew. I love Gardner Minshew.
Wow, you would like the most like get her done. Like
I love Gardner Minshew though.
I mean, maybe because he looked like he was from Jacksonville.
Yeah, that might be it. That was like one of my favorite quarterbacks. I think if we had Gardner Minshew playing in that AFC Championship, we probably would have won that.
Really?
He was just accurate as fuck, like with his throws. He wasn't gonna throw it far. He didn't have a crazy arm, but like he was getting the passes through.
I think, and you guys did pay Nick Foles after he won the Super Bowl, right? You're like,
he got injured.
For them.
He got injured.
Oh yeah, Nick Foles is a guy who was like had moments. You want Nick Foles to like be a closer. You don't want Nick Foles to be the primary starter.
That's what ruined the Jaguars also, because they didn't trust Blake Bortles, but like the locker room loved Blake Bortles. Mm-hmm. And even if you like watch like the fourth quarter of that game, they wasn't letting Blake Bortles throw that ball at all. They was doing a bunch of like check down passes. They didn't trust his arm.
Yeah. Again, the Niners did that with Jimmy G when they just ran the ball against the Packers. Like, you are not gonna throw this fucking football. We are gonna win this game no matter what. Like,
yeah, they were just playing conservative. That's why the Patriots beat us. One of the craziest things I ever seen was so we had got I think we still had Blake Bortles, but we had got like Nick Foles, and then we paid Nick Foles a bunch of money, and like the Jaguars posted a picture of Nick Foles like on the Jaguars like Instagram, and like all the Jaguar players were just like roasting Nick Foles. They were like, I think Jalen Ramsey was like substitute teacher built ass nigga, and it was like a bunch of people.
Let's not forget, Jalen Ramsey also said all that shit about Josh Allen, and Josh Allen just beat him last week. Like,
yeah, but at that time,
Josh Allen, he's just a tall guy. He ain't special. Like, he's got a decent arm. They say he's athletic, and Josh Allen just like bulldozed his teammate.
Yeah, I got you. But Nick Foles supposed to be your quarterback, and then like I think like Fournette was like, "Damn, he got titties." They were like legit roasting this dude. Telling him he had titties. He was built like a substitute.
It's an easy guy to roast because he was all like, "Fake won me that Super Bowl." Like, he was an easy guy to pick on, Nick Foles. Like,
yeah, somebody else said he was built like Ellen DeGeneres. This is like Jaguar players like saying this like under the comments of. I was like, damn, he don't got the locker room. Like, I don't care how much money y'all just paid him. Like, the team, the players like roasting this dude under a Jaguars post and like not even deleting their comments. So like, I can't take this shit serious.
Yeah, but again, to be like Jalen Ramsey's the prime suspect. He was the whole Golden Tate situation played out the way it did for a reason. Jalen Ramsey's number one. Like, he's basically Seth Rollins right now. Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah,
like number one line stepper, instigator. He's on that energy.
But at that time, he was that dude. Like, you had to pay him that money. But
he still is that dude in a way, probably, because he got them to the Super Bowl with some key plays in the playoffs. So
yeah, ain't no slouch. And also, I'm a FSU fan, so I'm always wow. I'm always gonna like Jalen Ramsey.
I'm just trying to think, like, so you went from like Chris Winkie to Christian Ponder to DJ Manuel to Jameis Winston. Like, we strong Jameis Winston.
Looking like he off the perks all the time, Jameis Winston.
Stole them crab legs and led us to a championship.
Yeah.
They should have gave him that shit, bro. Like, just get that man them crab legs.
Oh, that was the thing. Now they would with the NIL. They hear. Want some more?
I don't think. Oh, Davis, I don't know if you ever been inside of Publix, but it's like
I've never been to Florida in my life, so I got to fly out to do an REOP at night. So
you want to come out there for that?
Yeah.
Hey, you got don't just say.
Yeah, you're gonna be one of the co-hosts. Don't say you can guess.
No, I gotta see. I gotta witness what's going on in person. I gotta be like, Oh, okay.
Witness what you see in person to realize that Florida women are #good but bad at the same time.
Every woman is good and bad at the same time. They're
no, but not like Florida women.
That's why I love them.
Not like Florida women, brother. You gonna see how they are in Duval County. It's gonna change your whole life for better
CTE.
or for worse. Yeah.
CTE.
Yeah, no, I definitely gotta. I mean, I just gotta go to Florida in general to experience, but I definitely gotta play again a co-host to RAOP at night with Joe and see him.
And slur, don't get upset.
Why would I be upset?
Because they definitely gonna call you that in Duval.
Who gonna call him a slur?
Some of them good bad women.
What's slur?
Cracker.
Like that's not accurate?
They definitely gonna say that.
Can you not tell that I'm the same color as the shirt I'm wearing? Like, is there like any discrepancy between?
Well, I take that back because they be upsiding all them at the strip club. They be like, yeah, the white strip clubs pay well.
but no, we definitely got to make that happen at some point. Again, like I said, all four of us, we got to get to you, me, you. I won't be able to make December probably, but you, me, Joe, and Banks, we got to get together at some point to do a pod, the four of us.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Call off your little job and make it happen because I got to go out there next month or November anyway.
See, there you go, my little job again. What did they just say? Like, podcasting's my job. Like,
exactly. So take off for 3 days. That's all we need. Actually, we need a week. Take off for 3 days.
Nah, it can't be 3 days. That's to be that was the thing about Dallas. It was like, oh, it was too short, but it was almost a week.
Yo, if we get a week and we crank out some content with Random Acts, bro.
That's another thing with me, man. When I go to these cities, I don't like going like a bunch of days. Like people be going to like cities like 4 or 5 days. I just need about three tops.
That's what I'm saying. You.
Traveling, man.
With Jacksonville is different because you know what I mean. I lived out there, but like anywhere else, especially Miami, hey, give me 2-3 days, I'm good. Especially in Miami, I don't need more than that.
Yeah, Miami, no joke.
Hey, you ain't trying to come out to Art Basel, Davis?
I would, but it's in December.
What that mean?
I can't get the time off now.
Bro, this man, your job got you in a slave.
It does. That's why I'm worried about Mania next year. It's like, shit, am I even going to get the days off for Mania?
You ain't missing nothing. Stay home.
No, we're all supposed to be doing something again. Amp, would you go to Mania in LA?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go.
Oh, see?
He got to check in with Maverick Carter, though.
I don't know if I'm going to 2 nights, but I'm
not saying the actual show, but I'm saying, are you going Mania week?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
but if I go, I'm gonna have to. I gotta go to a WrestleMania show.
There are other events.
You want to be like these other weirdos? Hey, Roman Reigns versus The Rock. Who the fuck want to see that?
Yeah, I ain't about to go out there like and not go to a WrestleMania. Like,
but there's other shows to go see.
Yeah, GCW.
Yeah.
Hell no. Yeah. Stay home.
And it's been a minute since I've been to a Mania because I used to go to Mania like I think I went like 5 years in a row. And then like,
did you go to the ones they had in Orlando?
Yeah, I went to the one in Orlando. I had tickets for the Tampa one with the pandemic, and then like the pandemic happened, and then like I ain't been back since. And then like the one you remember when they came back and they did the show in Tampa?
Yeah, you didn't try to go back for the rain delay one.
Yeah, I felt like it was too close to COVID.
It definitely was.
I was shell shocked. I was like, I'm not about to buy these tickets and then like something else happened because they was like, oh, COVID might come back, and I was like, nah.
That was so like, are we fucking nuts that they're like actually doing this? Like,
yeah. And then the Dallas one, I'm not sure why I didn't go to the Dallas one.
Yeah, I kept trying to tell you, hey, you gonna come?
Yeah, we were talking about that. You said you and Joe were gonna try, and you had said, yeah, that you was
right. I'm not sure why I didn't go. I went to the first Dallas one.
See Shane McMahon against The Undertaker.
Yeah, that was a terrible card.
It was. It had some decent matches, but the whole card, it was
everybody
injuries.
Was hurt.
Yeah, injuries.
Damn. Seth Rollins tore his ACL, so a whole bunch of shit.
John Cena was injured.
But John Cena was there though.
Yeah, but he wasn't cleared to wrestle. Was the thing. He could like do an FU. I mean, an AA to be correct. But yeah,
I think Rock had like a 5-minute match with like.
Yeah, he had the shortest match in the history of WWE. That piece of shit.
Thor. He gonna beat your ass. You better not come to LA. You gonna have to check in with
You act like I'm
Samoan.
scared of this man who's gonna tear a quad the minute he
All
starts
right,
running.
when you got to legit check in with Rikishi, who stay out here.
Ooh.
Right. He gonna hit you with the stink face.
Crazy. That's crazy,
Bruh. Hey, man,
I did it for the Rock.
It's about to be 1,000 Samoans in one Cadillac, bruh.
That's racial.
That is, I am scared of Samoans. Though. The number one rule in life is to be scared of Samoans. Don't fuck with Samoans. But
not if you're in Florida.
I ain't scared of Dwayne Johnson. So.
No, if you was in Florida, you wouldn't have to be scared of no man in Florida. I just say that. Stand your own ground.
Oh my god. Okay, you know what? And we're about to wrap this up.
You ain't gonna be scared of nobody in Florida.
Where can people find you and anything that you're involved in on social media?
I gotta watch the Jaguars, man.
Yeah, so I was trying to wrap this up soon.
Twitter, Ampavelli podcast, Random Acts of Podcast. Check out our Patreon, patreon.com/REO Podcast, youtube.com/Random Acts of Podcast. And of course, I don't know if Ampavelli, follow me on Twitter, REO Podcast, everything, IG, all that shit, man. Salute to y'all for bringing me on. Been a long time in the making.
Yeah, thank you for finally stopping by. It took me calling you out to make it happen. So, like I said, the four of us at some point will have to link up, and I guess I'll have to make it to Art Basel, as Banks says. I'll have to, do some Ferris wheel, like I'm sick. And,
Banks, are you even going to Art Basel?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like he's calling me out.
Yeah, bro. I'm
gonna be honest. I wasn't sure if I was going or not. I know Joe wanted.
Y'all know how y'all been saying you need some time off. You need a break. That'll be my time off. Usually around December, I take some time off. So I'm going there.
Well, see, the thing is, I'm on my time off right now from this fucking hernia surgery. So it's like I missed my chance. I was gonna wait till December also to
just say your hernia start acting up.
Right? Yeah, just like I need a re-up surgery.
Right.
Make up a whole surgery, like.
Hey man, y'all better start lying to these jobs. These jobs don't give a fuck about y'all. Y'all better start lying.
No, that is true. No, that is
true.
All the time. No, that is true. And again, I'm on the verge of quitting this job in a way, but I would need another job before that. I do
start applying now.
My squealy spooch.
I lie to jobs. I've been lying to jobs since I was
You lie to me.
Nah, why? Why would I need to?
Off air, Amp. Off air.
Imagine lying to a white man, bro. I know what you about to say. You about to imagine me not lying to a white man, I should say.
Nah, that's man.
But to the listeners, lie to these jobs. If you get off.
That's your word.
No, I ain't about to say just don't go to work and some kind.
That actually might be the name of the episode.
You need your money. You need to pay your bills. But yeah, if you can't get off, bro, lie to these jobs, bro. Because a lot of these jobs don't give a fuck about you, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, I'm aware. Yeah. I'm 100% aware.
Sometimes you gotta put I know the whole, what's they call them? The older people, the
baby boomers?
Yeah, the baby boomers. I know they hate us because we got all kind of shit. We talking about mental health days and all that shit. but man,
the thing is, I'm wired like a baby boomer because again, I was working with this hernia, it's fine. Just for the flesh wound.
I got any slight pain and
Nah, I was working 2 months with a hernia because I'm I gotta get some money. I ain't getting paid for podcasting like you. I mean, unless you want to buy up Banks versus Davis and we'll become a property of the REOP network.
I got some money right here.
You got that black announce table fake money.
I got that from Eve. Hey, Eve sent me some money through.
Try to cash out that and see what happened.
Yeah. Thanks. What about you? Where can people
find you, bro?
Yeah, that's where you can find me at the Hater Banks on all social media platforms.
Okay.
More importantly, this shit right here. Y'all want to talk to me? Spend that $5. Patreon.com/Banks versus Davis. That's the only place you can find me at.
Banks, when your shit coming out, man? We've been waiting on that.
Yeah, see?
I got to get the other covers.
Oh.
Oops. Yeah. Exactly. Because I got the set. For the most part, I need one more thing, but I got the setup right now. I got to cover this shit, but no, I'm waiting. You know what I mean? Yeah. When I get the covers from you, after I pay, then we good to go. I'm gonna start next weekend.
Yeah. No, if you didn't listen when Banks was on REOP a couple weeks ago, Amp had said what you got coming up, and Banks said shh, shh, shh. And I've been trying to allude to Banks has something in the works that isn't the Banks versus Davis Patreon. It's something you'll want to tap in with. So when pay attention to anything Banks does. He's not on social media that much, but I am not Banks on Instagram and Twitter.
Hideobanks Productions. Okay.
Yeah, you might have to show up just to promote that, but I know you don't want to. At the BBD Pod is probably what you do it at the BBD Pod on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter at Davis, aka Drip. Instagram is daviscoltondc.
I'll let Davis get his shit off before I say what I had to say. Banks don't about to say.
Not saying it.
Banks, you gotta stop playing, bro. You gotta get on Twitter, man. If you're trying to get your shit right, bro, you gotta get on Twitter, man. I'm sorry.
But here's the thing, Amp. Twitter is such it's a frustrating place a lot of the time.
But it's a necessary evil.
It is, but it also is just like don't y'all just shut the fuck up?
No. That's every time I'm on there, I see B-Dot just talking. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to be on this app.
Don't listen to them people.
No, this is why we need jobs, because people be on Twitter too damn much to be like, do you have a job? Do you have
Oh, well. Hey man, just don't be listening to these Twitter people talking about some what they say, black podcast ruining a black community. Don't listen to these people, man.
Well, that's not accurate at all. I mean,
yeah, I'm saying, man, don't listen to these people, bro. If you got a podcast, promote your shit on Twitter.
Because the people that say that either had a podcast that failed to take off and they're bitter, or
they just don't understand the shit.
Or again, they're envious as well.
Them stupid motherfuckers, because y'all on there talking about dates, bro. Nobody go on no dates no more. You stupid son bitch.
Hey, I go on. I mean, not anymore, but I do. I take women on dates.
Yeah, but you don't have no fucking hour and a half talking about it.
No.
Like, imagine spending an hour and a half. That's a 5-minute conversation at the most. Hey, it didn't go well. Okay, cool. Let's move on. Real one's gonna move on.
Yeah, dates about to be a stinking anyway. I forgot who that was. I ain't gonna say who it was. On the group chat was saying that a girl was saying, "Oh, don't tell me happy birthday. Send me a cash app." Dates about to be a stink. So.
God damn.
You know, that's what I'm saying. Hey, you said you want to go on ROP at night. All right, Davis, you about to learn very fast.
No, I gotta. Okay.
Them Southeast women, all of them, Atlanta, Jacksonville, Miami, they all like this. I be doing this.
Then I'll have to be the joke. I'll be like, you want some money? I see some ass.
I'm trying to tell some ass.
Those women are. Come on,
they're great workers.
They're sex workers. So it's just like at the end of the day, that's
comes with the territory. Yeah.
It's like I don't get mad at it. Like that's their job at the end of the day. Hoeing was in the Bible.
Yeah, I don't mind paying.
What verse? What psalm or whatever?
I don't know what verse, but I just know people be saying that, so I go with them. And all them people can't be lying. It got to be in the Bible.
Oh, people can't be lying about a book. Come on. A fictional book.
Everybody say hoeing is one of the first professions. So
I mean that is true.
That gotta be true. Jesus had some hoes with him.
He had plenty of hoes.
Jesus was the hoe, I thought.
Oh wow.
Well, let's get up out of here before we lose our.
That isn't good because Jesus is a black man. So I mean, yeah, that didn't. Yeah, you know what?
Well, Banks versus Davis. I know some hoe ass black men. I call them niggas. I'm out of here.
Banks versus Davis on YouTube every single Sunday. We'll be joining y'all before football kicks off. But you can, but you can sign up, like Banks said, to the Patreon. We'll have content dropping every other day or so going forward. Just stay tuned, stay subscribed, recommend, like the video, share, comment, all that, and we'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Pay the frog, bitches.